welcome to iReadit, bringing you your weekly dose of the internet for Sunday, March 10th, 2019. I am Michael Schwan.
And I'm Tiamat.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Dang.
Yeah. So you best start fucking respecting my ass.
To what do we owe the honor?
To what do you owe the honor? Well, you see, I have decided to come to this mortal plane of existence to fuck shit up, and I just so happen to be free at the moment. So.
Okay. All right. Accept a brew.
Yeah, it's like I came to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum. Well, I came to kick ass and do this podcast, and well, I'm all out of ass.
Too tired for the ass.
I'm just out.
Quick reminder, everybody, if you'd please consider supporting this show, go to patreon.com/dailyinternet. Pick up some of our merchandise in the link below. You can also follow and share the show and let us know of anything you'd like to talk about by going to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or Reddit. All of those are at iReaditCast. Additional reminder to you is that it is Sunday, March 10th, which means that you should have turned your clocks forward this morning.
No, you shouldn't have. It's 2019. They do that shit automatically.
It's not all of them. Your phone does it, and your computer does it, and that's about it.
That's pretty much the only ones that you need.
I can tell you the clock on my stove, my microwave, and my coffee maker did not update.
Then just connect them to the internet.
They can't do that, Nathan.
Why?
Because they're not. I don't have a smart stove.
Can you imagine if you could connect your microwave to the internet? Dude, and someone hacked your internet, hacked your microwave.
They have fridges that do that now. They probably have stoves that do that now. I imagine it's not too far off that we have microwaves and coffee makers that do it.
Yeah, I just want to see a coffee maker that's hacked by somebody, and it really fucks with people.
I just need a coffee maker to play Doom on, that's all.
Oh, that's fair. You just start loading up Doom on your coffee. No, even better. You're gonna start loading up. You're gonna start your coffee, right? And before your coffee fully finishes, as you hit the button that starts, you black out, and then you come to in the back of a
cart.
In the back of a cart, yeah.
Dang it.
On your way to Rorikstead.
Yeah. Are my ancestors smiling upon me?
Oh, absolutely.
100% understood.
He did it again, Bethesda. Perfect.
Very nervous for Elder Scrolls 6.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not very nervous for it. Skyrim was fun, but I don't think it was repeatedly hours of fun. It wasn't Morrowind. Morrowind was the fucking jam.
I never played it, so.
Dude, Morrowind was my shit. You make spells. You can make spells. That was a lot of fun.
All right.
Otherwise, the spell system was kind of bad.
News time.
10.
Missing 5-year-old and 8-year-old sisters found alive.
Oh, that's surprising. This is submitted by C. Mueller, leet to our news.
Well, fortunately, this wasn't a case of they were taken. This 5-year-old and 8-year-old, they were at home and they asked their mom if they could go play outside, in the trees behind the house. And there's an actual full-on forest behind the house. Mom said no. 5-year-old and 8-year-old grabbed some granola bars and decided they were going to do it anyway and got lost for 2 days.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
And then they were found, right? I think I remember this one.
Yes, they were found.
It was the most positive the story could end.
Yeah, there was a multi-agency search between police, Coast Guard, firefighters. They were using K9 units, a Black Hawk helicopter, and they did finally find them after 2 days, and they were, for the most part, perfectly fine.
Nice. That's real good. It's always good to hear stories like this, starting off strong.
Every time, the strongest start. Yeah, no. So I mean, short, sweet story. Also, as a note to everybody, I have moved the titles from just best, from the most popular on the internet to least, to just these are roughly one or two from each of the 5 days. We are on Friday. Got another one from Friday, not Friday, from Monday. Got another one from Monday, and then we're gonna move into Thursday, just because of the way that I make the notes now.
Oh man.
As a note to everybody.
As a note.
As a note.
Editor's note.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not just like putting little words down into the thing. Although I do like those. Anyway.
9.
Trump ordered to pay legal fees after losing court battle over his Scottish golf course.
This was submitted by Dark Knight, or damn it, I hate it when they use the K for dark and night. To Our World News.
It still works though, because it's Dark Knight, like a dark night, not Dark Knight like a night from. Yes, yes, it still works. It's fine.
No, it doesn't work.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
What if that I is a Roman numeral I and it's just one Dark Knight and it's not even a reference to Batman?
Then they're dumb, and I don't like them.
No, well, that's fine. You don't have to like them. We just have to.
It's definitely a Batman reference. I know it.
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
Anyway, we had actually talked about this in regards to when this was first going around during the presidential election of 2016. How long have we been doing this show now, Nathan?
Years.
Like,
literal years.
I know, but that makes me wonder, because, like, I feel like
3, maybe.
Are we on 3? I thought we were only
maybe
on
4.
2.
No, we were on 2 a year ago.
Hang on, I'm gonna find out right now.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways,
the very first episode. Oh yeah, we broke 3 years. Jesus. Very first episode went up November 6th of 2015. So we are halfway to our 4th year.
And we're living on a prayer.
Sure. Man, all right. Anyway, so yeah, Trump was sued the government of Scotland because they were going to build 11 wind turbines close to his golf course, and he said, I don't want those wind turbines. It's gonna ruin the aesthetic of my golf course, okay?
Gonna ruin the aesthetic of my golf course. This fucking man, I swear to God.
And the government the courts promptly told him to get over it.
Well, absolutely. It's a fucking stupid reason. Like, it's childish, really.
So 2 parts in connection to this. 1, he has to pay the legal fees now, which is not a big deal. He's got plenty of money. The other part is that in response to this, he sent out a tweet with a picture of his golf course, talking about how it might be the greatest golf course in the world and it improves relations with the UK.
No, it doesn't.
Well, yeah, and additionally, that is, from what everyone can deduce, a violation of the emoluments clause, because
he's damn right it is, because he's still getting money on it.
Yeah, he's promoting his own personal gain through his official. Yeah, so
that's another reason why you would be able to impeach him. Wow, there's so many reasons. The GOP are fucking cowards.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you, but I really think at this point, like, unless they catch him doing just something along the lines of like lying under oath,
they've done multiple times.
Anyway, the process for impeachment at this point, he'll probably just get voted out of office by the time that entire process is done. Which
is ridiculous, because they clearly have enough to impeach him, and they are not, because they're not wanting to give up any form of power that they have, even if it means that they have a person who's tantamount to a treasonous swine.
The understanding that I have currently is that instead of going for impeachment or anything like that, they're just letting Robert Mueller continue to conduct his investigation, who is being very cautious in his investigation because he doesn't want to miss anything or leave anything to chance. He wants to have a full indictment on him rather than just a reason to remove him from office.
ridiculous. There's a lot of people that need to be removed from office, like immediately.
There was also something I read about the potential that they were specifically waiting till he was out of office to do anything so that there's less protections for him.
I guess that makes sense, but I don't know. I think it's dumb that they haven't even tried, moved forward.
8. MMR vaccine does not cause autism. Another study confirms.
This is submitted by Pips Don't Squeak to Our Science.
This study involved over 650,000 children.
Oh, wow.
And of those children, 95% were vaccinated, and the percentage rate of children who had autism between those that were vaccinated and those that weren't were no different. Of the 650,000, the standard ratio existed, and 6,500 of them had autism because that's just a natural development that you get. So we have now had over 17 studies done in over 7 different countries, 3 different continents, hundreds of thousands, over millions of children. And still people like to try to say that vaccines cause autism.
Yeah, they totally do.
Nathan, people are dumb.
No, I mean, they're absolutely right. Vaccines do cause autism. And
vaccines cause autism in unintelligent parents. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm telling you, these vaccines take these little tiny children and give them autism. You know, a genetic defect that's caused by stuff at birth and not I guess sometimes autism isn't even really a defect, a genetic mutation.
Yeah, it's not even a defect, you're just different, which I mean isn't, I still don't even feel like that's the correct way to describe them, because they're not different, they're just them. Their brain is just slightly,
it's kind of different.
Well, it's not even different, because I guess different.
I mean, it could be different, but not bad.
Yeah, I just feel like different has too much of a negative connotation to it often.
Yeah, yeah, that's because people use it negatively, but you could definitely use, you know, different positively.
That's fair.
It's just a descriptive word. It's an adjective.
But that's also trying to say that there is a normal version of the human brain, which I guess there is a statistical average, but I just feel like our brains are too complex for us to say what's normal for them. The
statistical average of a human brain is an idiot.
All right. I can't argue with that, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty accurate.
I also think part of that is like engineered by people with more money and power than us.
That's, you know, fair. That's because these here, I can explain it all. I've been watching a lot about this. There are fourth dimensional vampire beings that have talked to NASA, because NASA is actually a shadow government split from us because it was originally made by the Nazis. And NASA has talked to these aliens, and they've told them to make everyone stupid so that they can split off from this world, destroy our world, and start a new entire world with these aliens.
Okay. I'm down.
These psychic vampires. I've been watching a lot of Alex Jones recently, so I think I know what I'm talking about.
You just been doing it for entertainment value, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and it was so stupid. That had a glorious part though. At one point, he turned to the camera and he's like, Joe, I think I'm kind of retarded, and I don't think I could say that. Or Joe was like, I don't think you could say that, and he goes, I know.
Oh, okay.
7.
Pelosi says Democrats to introduce bill to bring back net neutrality this week.
This was submitted by Cujo Bites to Our Politics.
So, I mean, there's not a lot to say beyond that. I mean, we talked about when net neutrality died, with, Ajit Pai and the FCC revoking Title II and the rest of net neutrality, ending the Obama-era regulations that gave us protections against more predatory natures of internet service providers and the like.
It was there for protection. It was only there to help us.
Now,
and it was murdered before our very eyes.
There's a problem that exists of that. Anytime you see this, all right, there's probably like 10 articles a week about House Democrats doing this, House Democrats doing that, House Democrats, House Democrats, House Democrats. How the Democrats hold like 60% of the House of Representatives.
That's a good majority.
Which means that by and large, they can get anything through the House that they want. That said, the Republicans hold like 60% of the Senate. So, and things have to be approved by both sides. All of this is just never going to go anywhere. Literally ever. Period. Like, it's all just going to fly through the House and hit a brick wall and splat at the Senate, because the Senate's a bunch of Republicans who are just going to tell the Democrats no matter what.
Yeah, even if it's a good and beneficial thing, because they're fucking cowards.
I mean, I can't even say that it wouldn't go the same way if if we flipped the shoes around, because it most likely would.
Everyone's fucking cowards, but
like, it irritates the crap out of me that everything with American politics right now is either my side or fuck you. Like, that's literally the only two options.
Is it Republican? Well, then death.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's absurd and ridiculous, and is causing just a stagnation of progress of we are achieving literally nothing ever. And, like, people want to talk about wasting money or the amount of money that is spent in terms of, like, litigation and legislation, and yet we just burn years and billions of dollars doing nothing.
It's ridiculous. It's a gigantic waste of time. Literally 4 years, 5 years, 4 years to 8 years at a time, there is almost nothing getting done because of the amount of stuff that you have to put forward to reject what your previous administration had put forward. It's like if they could clean slate every time that they got that anybody got office, they would.
Which is bad. It's worthless.
Because it means nobody can agree on what our fucking government should look like.
It's stupid. All right, moving into Wednesday.
6.
Wisconsin man charged with breaking measles quarantine to go to gym.
This is submitted by my F to our news. Wow, it's not Florida man?
No, Wisconsin man. Jeffrey Morosky of Brookfield.
Way to fucking ruin things, asshole.
He is a 57-year-old man with measles who was quarantined to his house until he was, quote, no longer contagious. And he got bored and had his wife drive him to the gym.
I mean, he's no longer contagious.
Yeah, he has to be cleared as being no longer contagious by a health official, which he wasn't. He just got bored and decided he'd go to the gym.
Well, then he's not no longer contagious.
Yeah, exactly.
But you said he was no longer contagious.
No. He was under house quarantine until he was no longer contagious.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
And he had to be cleared by a health official, which he had not been yet.
Well, that does not bode well for Wisconsin.
Well, and, like, the dude also rolled like a really crappy die because, like, as he's walking out of the gym back to his wife's car, an off-duty sheriff is like, "Hey,
I know you.
Aren't you supposed to be at home?" And like, he immediately like just started like crying and saying that he was sorry. And it's like, yeah,
you should go home, dude.
That's nice. Go the fuck home, please.
Even more than just please, like, just go the fuck home. Also, stop being unvaccinated. Get your vaccines, even if you're old.
Please.
For the love of God. You're not going to you're not going to get autism from these vaccines.
I don't know, Nathan. We've only had like 18 studies in 7 different countries on 3 different continents with over 1 million children say that you don't get autism from vaccines. That doesn't seem like very, good evidence.
I've done my research. I'll tell you what. I've been all over the internet. I've had to Google it, trust me, because it's really buried deep down there. But I finally found it. I found proof and evidence that you do not need vaccines. All you got to do is rub 18 essential herbs and spices all over your body.
Trust me. According to a blog written by Gloria...
I Am Hamster Cat 1937, it states that we should not have to give our children vaccines if we do not want to because of our civil liberty and our religious liberty. So I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to start a religion so that none of you have to vaccinate your children ever again. It is the religion where everyone dies early and gets to see God pretty quickly.
That's good plan.
Yeah.
Good plan.
All right, give me money now.
I'm game. Not game. Not.
Just give me money now.
Give me money.
10.
Nope.
5.
Yep. Every animal pulled from the deepest part of the ocean had plastic in its gut.
This was submitted by Convinced to Our World News. Well, that's not good.
No, that's not good. That's not good. They pulled a bunch of small little guys out of the Marianas Trench, which is the deepest part of the ocean that we're aware of, the Marianas Trench, and every single one of them had at least a single fiber of plastic in its stomach.
Now stay with me. You're gonna say that it's not good because it's pollution, right? Well, I'm saying it's not good because we fed all of those fish and none of them paid us back.
Yeah, right? I mean, come on, pay up, guys.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
You got tons of resources in the ocean. Start processing, you need to start exporting that shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Then from there, you have you just start marketing it to the American government.
I just had this wonderful image of like some businessman like just walking out to a pier and just like opens a case that's full of money and just like dumps it into the ocean, and then a little while later like a shipping container rises out of the ocean and is deposited on the shore. And then you see a bunch of like little crustaceans sneak back into the ocean, delivering things like the crabs from what is it? Pirates of the Caribbean.
On the edge is an octopus with his tentacles crossed like his arms, and next to him is his first mate, and his first mate is like, "Did the man leave the money?" And the octopus turns and goes, "It would appear that way."
Oh, God.
It's a pun.
Buzzing.
You're welcome. Anyway,
No,
so the problem is that, yes, we do pollute our ocean.
Whale.
What? God dang it.
It's a pun.
We do pollute our oceans a ton. In fact, every year around 8 million tons of plastic enter the ocean. There are estimated to be 5 trillion individual pieces of plastic in the ocean. And while there's a lot of it that we can clean up and we can do a lot to try and prevent further plastic from entering the ocean, areas like the Marianas Trench, we have no hope of ever being able to clean up, at least not anytime soon. It's hard enough for us to even get there, let alone clean things there.
Yeah, it's pretty deep down.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. But so we suck.
It's deeper and denser than most of your local politicians.
Dang. That's harsh. Going into Thursday.
4.
President Trump on Wednesday, speaking of a conversation we literally just had, ended an Obama-era requirement that the U.S. government publish an annual report on the number of people killed in drone strikes or other counterterrorism operations outside of war zones.
All right, so this one was submitted by Dormus Jessup to Our World News.
I mean, so in terms of why, with modern technology and the way that we fight wars in today's era, we don't necessarily do so with a million dudes in trenches anymore. We do so with tactical strikes, lots of drone strikes, stuff like that, to try and very tactfully disrupt, interrupt, and unseat problems. And there had been a lot of criticism early on in the Obama administration around the increased use of drone strikes and what that could have led to in terms of losses of life for both combatants and non-combatant deaths. So in response to this, in the interest of transparency in the government, as well as to combat false reporting, the Obama administration put forth this rule that required the government to say, this is the number that we have confirmed have died of these different categories, both of things like insurgents as well as civilians, children, etc. And while it still leaves the United States open to a lot of criticism of, you just admitted that you killed like 8 people that didn't need to be killed. It's like, yes, but at least like three things there of, 1, now they can't say that we killed 800. 2, we're the ones telling you, and 3, we're going to keep trying to do our absolute best, but unfortunately nobody is perfect.
I mean, it's true that nobody's perfect, but I feel like this is something that you should still be open about.
Right, and apparently Trump doesn't agree with that, saying that having to create this report takes away from the responsibilities and focus of the administration from just continuing to do their job.
I don't think so. Like, sure, it takes time to make as well as resources, but like, I feel like this is something that really shouldn't be just cast aside.
Well, I mean, like you already said, just give us a couple of years, we'll get someone else in there, and they'll just reverse this one.
Yeah, it's dumb though, because we're gonna have a few years of them being able to just drone strike anyone without telling us.
I mean, they could declassify it later, I guess. I don't know, man. It's irritating and dumb how it works.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for this next one, instead of anything else, instead of us saying anything, I am just going to let them say it. So, number 3.
Hi, everyone. I have some news to share with all of you, and it's in keeping with my longtime policy of being open and transparent with our Jeopardy fan base. I also wanted to prevent you from reading or hearing some overblown or inaccurate reports regarding my health. So therefore, I wanted to be the one to pass along this information. Now, just like 50,000 other people in the United States each year, this week I was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Now, normally the prognosis for this is not very encouraging, but I'm going to fight this, and I'm going to keep working. And with the love and support of my family and friends, and with the help of your prayers also, I plan to beat the low survival rate statistics for this disease. Truth told, I have to, because under the terms of my contract, I have to host Jeopardy for 3 more years. So help me, keep the faith, and we'll win. We'll get it done. Thank you.
So that is Alex Trebek, who has hosted Jeopardy for how many years? 50?
Something like that.
Like, just a long time. And he has been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, which, when he says in that video, the low survival rates, pancreatic cancer has a less than 1% survival rate. The problem with pancreatic cancer is that it is most commonly caught in stage 4, and that is the point that the cancer is spreading from the pancreas to other organs, which is why they are then able to see it and catch it. Even if it's caught earlier, it doesn't increase the chances all that much. That said, there's still a chance, and like that 1% exists because people have beat it, and so there is always that chance that you could be one of the people that beat it. But I definitely want to wish Alex Trebek the best and commend him on this presentation of, he's still professional. He is still found humor to present in his statement that things are not well for him. So yeah, I got nothing else.
He's not even the most recent celebrity in the news that had some kind of cancer. I swear to God, there's like two people who died recently because of cancer. The one might have been suicide. There was the God, who died recently?
Hang on just a second.
There was a guy in a musical act.
Hang on.
I remember seeing 3 celebrity deaths. There was a wrestler, a guy in a musical act that I don't remember. I feel like it was important, though.
Hang on. I remember...
Oh, the guy from Prodigy died. Except that was a suicide. Never mind. I found that out.
I remember that there was somebody on Reddit had provided a list of Steve Jobs, Bill Hicks, Patrick Swayze, Alan Rickman, John Hurt, Pete Postlethwaite. I don't know who that one is.
Yeah, neither do I.
All of those people died because of pancreatic cancer.
My friend Ryan's dad died because of pancreatic cancer.
I hate cancer. I'm just gonna.
I don't think there's a single person who's like, fuck yeah, cancer's the goddamn jam and it should continue to be in humans.
Yeah, cancer's like the worst.
You don't say. I had no idea. Thank you for telling me.
You're welcome.
It's very beneficial. I thought cancer was a good thing. I thought cancer was fantastic.
Yeah, just the
yeah,
best.
I've dated several cancers. I figured, you know.
All right, moving into Friday.
2.
Ex-Trump campaign chief Paul Manafort sentenced to 47 months for fraud in Mueller case.
This is submitted by Stealth Vault to our news.
Well,
what a fucking shit. 47 months. That's some bullshit.
Yeah, and that's what everyone's getting at. The dude has multi-million dollars of fraud, tax fraud across multiple countries, and he is sentenced to 47 months, which at this point is actually only 38 months because of the time he has already spent in jail. There was the potential of a fine to be levied against him anywhere between $50,000 to $24 million. The fine assessed to him is $50,000. And you have people that are going to jail for 5 years because they didn't realize that they weren't like legal to vote, even though they had like a voter ID card, but something had nullified that and they went to vote anyway. Like,
among other things.
Yeah, there's so many other like the number of comparative cases in this of like this white collar dude just genuinely being a terrible person and trying to take advantage of every possible system he can and dodging the rules, only going to jail for less than 2 years, compared to people that get like caught with like a small amount of marijuana and go to jail for 10 years. Like the ridiculous amount of just they're not even comparable.
I'm very disappointed with our justice system because it means that if you have money, then you are way more free to get away with a lot more shit.
I mean, and that even goes beyond just like how much just misinformation he provided during the investigation, and just all of that is just like, this is enough.
Absolutely not. Oh, God. It's disappointing. I was hoping that he would be getting a lot more time than just shy of 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty whack.
Like, it's insane.
But, I mean, I guess jail time is jail time. Oh, he's just going to be getting out half the time on good behavior.
And here's the thing that bothers me, all right? Is like, I feel like, and I'm going to say a couple things in just a moment, and I feel like when things like this come up, you need to like start over. So the decision came from federal judge T.S. Ellis in Virginia. And during the actual sentencing, before delivering the sentence, he said that Manafort has been a good friend to others and a generous person and has lived an otherwise blameless life.
That's bullshit. He's committed treason several fucking times. This is right here. He just said that he's been a good friend. That right there is should be clause enough to get a different judge in.
He said a good friend to others, not a good friend to him.
Yeah. I bet it's been a good friend to him with a large donation to that guy's fucking wallet.
Yeah, probably.
It's ridiculous. Almost 4 years. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. This justice system is a joke. People claim that we're the best fucking country, and yet we can't even get shit like this right.
Yeah.
1.
Bill and Melinda Gates sue company that was granted $30 million to develop a pneumonia vaccine for children.
This was submitted by fanerific to our world news.
Jennifer Cruz in the chat room on number 2 real quick comments that the problem is white-collar crimes are often considered victimless, and they need to fix the statutes for things like those. Okay.
Absolutely, because like there's definitely victims to his crimes.
Yeah, the American taxpayers.
Not just the Americans, but like the Ukrainian people as well.
That's true. Anyway, so on to Bill and Melinda Gates, 2 of the richest but also genuinely generous people.
Yeah.
we're gonna go from talking about somebody who was just described by the judge sentencing them as a good friend to others and an all around generous person to 2 people who are genuinely generous people.
Also, I feel like whether or not you've been a friend to people should not be a thing that warrants whether or not you go to fucking prison. Like, you could be the nicest fucking dude and still goddamn kill people, Ted Bundy.
Well, yeah. I mean, Brock Turner.
It's fucking ridiculous. None of this should fucking happen, and yet it does constantly.
He's a great student that, is, doing well and has a bright future. We can't throw him in jail because he did horrible things to a woman behind a dumpster.
To hell we fucking can't throw his ass in jail.
Yes, you can. He's still a bad person. Anyway. So the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is suing a company for $30 million. And the reason being is that their foundation had granted this company, which is a company called Nuvax in Canada.
Canada. Canada.
They had granted them actually just shy of $30 million in 2017 to develop a low-cost, easily carried and what's the word for sending it out? Anyway,
dispersed.
Yeah, an easily
exported.
Carried and dispersed vaccine for pneumonia, because pneumonia is currently one of the #1 killers of children in developing countries.
Yeah, pneumonia is pretty fucking bad.
Problem. They started to not have faith that Nuvax was actually using that money towards developing a vaccine. And they hired an independent auditor to go in and investigate the situation, and found that Nuvax had been using the funds to pay back rent, to conclude other contracts, to they've been putting large markups on things like personnel to absorb more of the money without actually putting it towards the development of the vaccination. So the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has ended their agreement for the grant of funds and are now suing them both for their money back as well as damages, which is hilarious because then Nuvax countersued them saying that they are deserved the other $11 million that the foundation has not paid them yet.
Jesus Christ. That's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah. I mean, how much is Bill Gates worth right now?
I can understand suing for $11 million. Like, goddamn.
Bill Gates is currently worth $97.4 billion.
I would sue for $11 million. That's chump change to Bill Gates.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing, is that Bill Gates also, like, while it may be chump change in the grand scheme of like who Bill Gates is also a person who is humble enough to recognize that it is not chump change.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like he while being worth almost $100 billion is still aware of the value of $100 to someone like us. He recently did an AMA where he talked at length about how important it is to try to close that people like him shouldn't exist, and how he believes that that the wage things should be concluded and closed up and stuff like that, because while he is using as much of his money as he can for benefits, and he's also signed, I forget what the name of it is, both him and Warren Buffett and a couple other very wealthy people have agreed that when they die, literally all of their money, all of their net worth is going to go to things that are beneficial to humanity. Which
man, if only we can get more people to sign that.
Which I really, really hope that whatever that is done through is a reputable and trustworthy organization, because there are times that you'll see someone like donate like $1 million to an organization that otherwise seems like they have a good cause, and they are able to just slowly filter that $1 million into itself without it actually going to anything. And that's one of the reasons, but just as a note to everybody, if you're considering donating to a charity, do a little bit of research on that charity. Some charities are really, really shitty.
Yeah, don't just fucking pick something and give your money away. Actually do research.
Like there's some of them that like literally single digit percent of every dollar they get actually goes towards the cause they're working towards. Like, you give them $1 and a nickel of it will actually go towards like fighting cancer or whatever you want to look at. And so do a little bit of research on the organizations that you're donating to. And that's also why I'm a little bit concerned of like that someone is like Bill Gates is going to die and $97 billion is just going to be filtered into the pockets of millionaires and other billionaires who are the charitable sources that they're supposed to be getting the money to.
I feel like with that large amount of money, you can easily skim.
Yeah, probably.
Easily skim, you know, hundreds of thousands, if not $1 million off the top without anyone really noticing.
Probably. Anyway. Hey, Nathan.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks. Look at me.
What'd you care about in the last week?
Oh, not the thing that you put down.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I thought it was funny at the very least.
It was pretty funny. Don't get me wrong.
Real quick, the one that I tried to give Nathan was that a hipster whines at a text magazine for using his pic to imply that hipsters look the same, and then discovers that the picture that was used was an entirely different hipster.
That's a pretty good
irony.
I would definitely be like that kind of guy. I'd be like, hey, stop using my picture for fucking hipster shit. God damn it. No, what I cared about this week was definitely the Dark Tournament and Yu Yu Hakusho.
That's fair.
I finally got to the part where Yusuke gets to fight Toguro, but stay with me. The entire time I was watching it in English, but with English subtitles. And so whenever the Toguro brothers were on screen, the Toguro that matters, the one that fights Yusuke, was labeled as Toguro 2. So the entire time I'm like, who the fuck is this Toguro 2 guy? He's like bullshit and no one should really worry about him. Now that Toguro 1 guy, he's real scary. And then he gets fucking flattened by Kuwabara.
Amazing.
I'm like, how strong do you have to be in order to get fucked up by Kuwabara? Like, Kuwabara is trash.
Yeah, but he's also the best.
I want to say he's voiced by Chris Sabat.
I don't know.
Do you know who Chris Sabat is?
Yes, I do.
Good.
But I could take a look and see. Christopher Sabat.
Yep.
I'm trying to open.
Also, like, Yoko Kurama is really just Inuyasha.
I'm trying to open up like his IMDb or something like that. He is voiced by he is the voice of Kuwabara. You are correct.
Yeah, so if I see him and like a con or something, I'm totally gonna ask for him to do the Kuwabara voice and not even give a shit that he's All Might.
Yeah, I say Christopher Sabat, if you're wondering who else he's voiced that you might know besides Kuwabara from Yu Yu Hakusho, he's also Alex Louise Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist. He's Vegeta, Piccolo, Yamcha, Shenron.
I want to be a pretty Saiyan.
Kami, Mr. Popo, Korin, Zarbon, Raccoon, Birder, King Piccolo, and Omega Shenron. Most notably is Vegeta and Piccolo, though, from the Dragon Ball series.
He said All Might was his best role that he's ever done.
Yeah, which, I mean, sorry, Vegeta. And then All Might from...
Sorry, Kuwabara, how dare you?
Hey, Yusuke.
Oh, he's also gonna be in the Fruits Basket remake.
Really?
Yeah, he's gonna play Ayame, the rat boy's older brother, with the long silver hair that is just so gorgeous.
I didn't watch Fruits Basket as a kid. See, I watched Chobits instead.
Apparently, he voiced Vaccine Man in One Punch Man, and I'm not sure who Vaccine Man is.
You don't know who Vaccine Man is?
I've not watched One Punch Man.
He is literally the first villain that you see on screen, the one that looks like Piccolo but purple, trying to destroy everything. Also, you should watch One Punch Man because season 2 comes out like next month.
What else has he voiced that I even somewhat recognize? I recognize some of these shows, but I haven't watched them.
Yeah, Mishy.
Oh, he voices Zoro from One Piece too.
Yeah, no one cares about that.
It's still a notable role that probably earns him a ridiculous amount of money.
Absolutely not. No one likes One Piece.
Oh, that's fun. Okay, he also voiced the older Soma brother in the original Fruits Basket, so he's literally just the same character
Reprising
again.
his role, yeah.
That's fun.
I think they're doing that for most of the characters in Fruits Basket.
I think it's as many as they can.
Yeah, it's what happened with Brotherhood for Full Metal Alchemist. Which, speaking of Full Metal Alchemist, he was Armstrong, of course. But did you hear about the English voice actor for Edward? Of course, you actually did.
Vic Mignogna?
Yeah.
And all of the controversy around his life existence now.
Yeah. Like he got kicked out of like all of his fucking projects.
Well, that's what happens when you're an abuser. So,
dude, I was talking to my roommate about it, and he was talking about the time that he came up here for SenchiCon, and he remembers talking to girls who were actively like, "Yeah, we need to totally go to this convention so Vic can grab us and kiss us."
That's weird.
Yeah. That's totally enabling.
Super weird.
Yeah, it's real fucked up.
Oh, well. It's just another one to add to that wall, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, admittedly, that one makes me a little more sad, but also with how I had heard people talk about him before, it doesn't surprise me that much.
Yeah, it doesn't really surprise me either. That guy's kind of omega level creep.
Yeah. Oh, well. Moving along. Do you care about anything else?
Not really.
Just the Dark
anime,
Tournament?
really.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Hold on. I finished You, and that was one of the creepiest fucking shows I've ever goddamn laid eyes upon.
You?
Yeah, it's called You, and it is about a stalker, and it is fucking creepy as shit.
All right.
It made me writhe. Like, it's physically uncomfortable.
Okay. Noted, man. The thing that I cared about in the last week is something that I cared about in the last 24 hours, actually, and that is I went to see Captain Marvel yesterday.
Yeah, I went and saw that too.
And I will provide absolutely zero spoilers. Instead, I am just going to read the thing that I had posted onto my Facebook in description of how I felt about it. So I just finished watching Captain Marvel. I walked in knowing little to nothing about the character and hearing about a torrent of mediocre reviews, how everyone was saying that it was just okay, that it was all right. And to those reviewers, I'm guessing that they don't have daughters or they don't see the value that the movie has for women in general. Much like Wonder Woman, not only was it a great movie, but it also made a very powerful statement. And that statement was just not about feminism, but about being yourself, standing up for yourself, and doing what you believe is right. Yes, objectively speaking, there are probably better movies that even exist within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I don't believe any of them make a statement in the same way that Captain Marvel does. If you haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend it. Objectively speaking, I would say it's around a 6.5 out of 10, but contextually speaking, it is around a 9.5 out of 10.
I'm giving it a 3 out of 5.
Sure. So a 6 out of 10?
Yeah, but on the lower end. Like, it was a good movie. Don't get me wrong, right? It was a good movie. However, the plot that they chose to use was, yes, close to Captain Marvel, but it was changed slightly, and it was overplayed. Like the plot itself is overplayed. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the cheering on the women or anything like that. I'm talking about the basic plot itself.
Oh no, I understand. And I get what you're getting at, but there are plots that exist that have been retold over and over again. Like, how many times have we seen Dances with Wolves adapted 15,000 times?
That doesn't mean I'm not going to say that plot's, fucking overplayed. Like,
but
I feel like this movie was a good movie. Yes, it was a solid 3, right? But it is not a movie that is. It is a movie that is meant to wow you, but it does not live up to that. Yes, it'll wow the people that it is targeted to, but for the vast majority of people, it is not going to wow them.
I didn't feel like it was meant to wow you. I mean,
it definitely was. It definitely was meant to wow you, but it was meant to wow you if you were a little girl.
So we're going to rewind just a second. Just because a plot is overplayed doesn't mean that it's a bad plot.
Like, it depends, right? So it really depends, because there are certain plots that are overplayed that are bad plots, right? It's just
Sure.
people like them, and I don't understand why. This plot here, sure, not inherently a bad plot, but it is incredibly overplayed, and it's really gonna fuck with a lot of people because of some spoilers that I can't say.
Yeah, there are some plot twists that exist, and that's all that we will go into that one. But that said, I still think it was a good movie. Sure, it didn't do anything new, it didn't do anything fancy, but it also didn't need to. I feel like Brie Larson was a fantastic job as playing Captain Marvel.
Yeah, she was
she's
like the perfect Captain Marvel.
She's adorable and really funny. Like, and she has a deliverance of her comedy parts in the movie that felt more natural, which is always what I'm looking for. I hate when there's like quippy characters that exist that are quipping just for the sake of quipping, and it doesn't feel like a natural part of a conversation.
See, I'll tell you what. I'm really glad that they added, a decent amount of jokes into it. Otherwise, I would have been actually pretty bored.
I think
like the action was mediocre.
Yeah, well, I think they had to have a level of comedy in the movie to keep it
It's because it's Disney.
Jovial. No, not necessarily because it's Disney.
It's because it's Disney.
Like,
it has the same feel as Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, Disney has found the formula that they want for not just their Marvel movies, but for the Star Wars movies as well. It follows the same, jokey-ish formula.
I mean, I disagree. Some of the Marvel movies do have jokes in them, but looking at things like Civil War or Infinity War, they're not on the same like free-spirited, jovial level that things like Captain Marvel or Spider-Man were.
All right, so you pointed out two of the center points for shifting the Marvel storyline from Phase 3 to Phase 4. So it's not exactly fair to say that when every other movie to get to those movies are pretty much the same pattern.
I still disagree. Like the first even from the beginning, the first Iron Man wasn't. Iron Man 3
not
wasn't.
I'm saying, though. What I'm saying is, since Guardians of the Galaxy, not the first Iron Man, when they found out how popular, how good Guardians of the Galaxy did, they started replicating that formula, just throwing in quips everywhere. It's the James Gunn thing. It's the way to make a movie.
Besides his sister, besides Shuri, basically nobody quipped in Black Panther.
What? There's plenty of quips, man.
Not from Black Panther.
The South African dude? Yeah, he had plenty of quips. The white South African guy.
The white South African guy.
The other white guy who was played by the guy from The Hobbit. He also had a fair amount of quips. Like,
he was a pretty small part, though. What?
There's still a fair amount of quips throughout that entire movie.
What's come out since?
So hold on.
Hang on.
You said Shuri, right? So
yeah.
We have Shuri. Now we have the South African guy and the other white guy, as well as occasionally Chadwick Boseman throwing in, especially when he's around Shuri. Like,
he hardly quipped at all.
But he's still doing it when he's around Shuri. Like, there are moments where he quips, not just with her, but with N'Ongo's character. Like, there are quips. Yes, it is lesser, but that does not make it.
So, looking at the movies that have come out since Guardians of the Galaxy, we have Avengers: Age of Ultron, which that movie was just bad. Ant-Man, which was intended to be jokey.
Because
Ant-Man.
Well, not just that, but because how popular Guardians of the Galaxy is. I'm telling you, it started with Guardians of the Galaxy when it came to their format.
I'm pretty sure Ant-Man was probably already almost done with recording by the time Guardians of the Galaxy released.
Doesn't matter, man. You can cut and recut a movie while it's in the
Civil War, which was pretty dark. There was
tons of quips.
There was a couple
immense amounts of quips.
There was a couple of jokes from Spider-Man. Yep, there's a couple of jokes because of Spider-Man. Again, though, the overall tone of the movie was not very light.
That doesn't. The tone of the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, right? Like the overarching, like, actual bad guy tone and everything, getting the Soul Stone, or not the Soul Stone, I think it might have been the Soul Stone, it's a dark storyline. But the reason why it wasn't as dark in the movie was because of the protagonists and settling your differences with a dance battle. What I'm saying is yes, you don't have to settle everything with a dance battle, or you don't have to settle every final boss with walking up to them and going, Dormammu, I've come to bargain. but the format of the entire movie where you have this serious overtone and then you bombard it constantly with quips. That is the Guardians of the Galaxy like way of doing it. And that is how Marvel has started doing it to their movies since that movie.
I feel like you're attributing very small points to the overall status of a film, though. Like you're allowing 2 jokes to define the entire movie as being.
But it's not just 2 jokes. There are plenty of jokes throughout all of these movies.
Again, though, I still feel like you're applying, we'll say, 6 small jokes as making the entire movie be a more fun-loving, jovial presentation.
There's way more. It's because these tiny jokes, if you view them, one at a time, sure. But as you watch the film, they compound. It is a conglomerate. It is how they do it. They make a funny movie, but over the top of a serious movie.
I think that's just to keep people from being berated by how like dark and negative some of the movies are. Because there's some of them.
It is right. But that's what I'm saying is that they're taking advantage of this so that they can sell their movies. They found the numbers, Mason. They connected the dots and they figured out how to make a movie that not just children can watch and enjoy and love for decades, but for adults to watch.
They've been doing that for a century, though.
What?
They've been doing that for a century, though. Like, Disney movies from the beginning of Disney movies have had adult jokes weaved into children's stories.
Of course, like, everything has had adult jokes weaved into stories. What I'm telling you is that not all of these jokes are adult jokes and people will still love them. I'm telling you, they found it. They found it with James Gunn, and then they fired his ass because of some fucking tweets from, like, 10 years ago.
Just because all of them have jokes in them, though, doesn't mean that they're on anywhere near the same level. Because, like, movies like Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor Ragnarok, Ant-Man are meant to be more fun, entertaining, just enjoyable films compared to darker, grindier, dirtier stories.
But even their darker, grindier things isn't dark and grindy because of the amount of quips that they throw in. Yeah, I guess you can have a dark and grindy thing with an immense amount of quips, but you're not presenting it that way. You're presenting it with a medium roast.
I mean, that's like saying that because the Joker was funny in The Dark Knight, that it's not a dark movie.
No, that's not what I'm saying
That's
at all.
exactly what you're saying.
No, that is not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying you can have these dark movies and still have children like them because there are dark overtones, but you are bombarding these dark movies with quips to lighten them up. And that is the algorithm that they have found to make a successful movie.
But not all of them are successful.
No, of course not. You're not going to make 100% of the. You're not going to make a successful movie 100% of the time. But this is the algorithm that they have found to make a successful movie 60% of the time, 75% of the time. Do they need 100%, capture rating? No, they don't.
I mean,
they're fucking Disney. They're Marvel.
They probably
can pump
like
out a
it,
goddamn piece of shit Howard the Duck movie, and people would eat that shit up.
I don't want to see that.
Well, that's too goddamn bad because they're making a Howard the Duck TV show.
It doesn't mean I have to see it.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Absolutely do.
We'll see how even on board I am for anything Marvel after Endgame is over.
I'm just saying, like, Howard the Duck is the fucking jam.
Are you? Yeah, number one character in the MCU.
He's definitely eaten brains before, so yes, I'm gonna hands down say Howard the Duck.
Really?
Yeah, he's eaten brains before.
That's
There's
weird.
a comic called Marvel Zombies, and they had a crossover called Marvel Zombies versus Army of Darkness, and that is where you had the Marvel Zombies being made by the Necronomicon from the Evil Dead series. So Ash J. Williams went and was fighting all of these superheroes, and he gets stopped by a zombified Howard the Duck and gets his brains eaten. And then a portal from another world opens, and Ash Williams pops out and was like, whoa, holy shit, they're eating my brains. I gotta find the Necronomicon and get the fuck out of here.
Speaking of get the fuck out of here, do you want to do exactly that?
Sure.
Sure, Nathan. I need a nap before 8 more hours of D&D.
Actually, I have no D&D today. We got canceled because we have some people on vacation.
All right. Well, very well. Anyway, everybody, if you'd please consider supporting the show, go to patreon.com/dailyinternet or pick up some merchandise in the link below. We'd also ask that you follow and share the show on social media. It's also a great place to let us know anything that you want us to talk about, whether it's Marvel movies or a news topic, or just you want to know what our opinions or theories are about a particular subject. Let us know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Reddit, all of those are at iReaditCast. Otherwise, you can catch me at Schwan Michael and Nathan at Bimmenstein. That is your 537th dose of the internet. I am Michael Schwan.
And what was I? Who was I?
Tiamat.
Oh, yeah, I'm Tiamat.
And please remember, everybody.
Well, I didn't vote for you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.